I was already experiencing things in spirit. You see, I will see people and know everything about them. My friend, wakipata mademo, walikuwa wanaweza nifuata waniambia ni aje nimemeet demo, you come muone. If I see that girl, I would have every information about them.
Yeah.
You see, and naambia huyu demo yuko hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi.
Hey there, amazing friend. Are we connected on social media yet? If not, let's make it happen right now. I'd love to stay in touch with you. You can find me as Mung'ala Movie on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Loving this video? I sure hope so. If you are, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It truly helps me and the team keep creating awesome content for you. Your support means the world to us. Thanks a million for being here. You are the best.
Indeed, this is the day that the Lord has made. And the reason I'm saying this is because I have this friend of mine who's very close, close to the Lord. And before I tell you about him, let me tell you about where we are, first of all. This is MGM Muthu Silver Springs Hotel. We are right at the, do I call it the center of Upper Hill, but just next, opposite Nairobi Hospital, on your way to DOD or on your way to Daystar University or on your way to Hurlingham. Kwa hiyo roundabout tutapata hapo hivyo, come and experience a different taste from what you're used to. Umeshinda ukienda kwa kibanda, unahara, tafadhali come ustue matumbo zako, come ustue hizo minyozi kwa tumbo yako, uzipatie croissant. I'm sure you don't even know what that is. Uzipatie lasagna, uzipatie Jean Transfert de Cuban. You can only find those things at Silver Springs Muthu. That is MGM Group of Hotels. My name is Mung'ala Movie and welcome to my show. A big shout out to Roll and Take, the guys who make sure that indeed this show is happening as far as the videography is concerned. Now I've told you, if you have a wedding coming up, or you have a Rorashio, or you have a birthday party, or you have a baby shower, and you'd like them to document that particular situation for you through videography, please holla at Roll and Take and they'll definitely sort you out. Hata kama ni circumcision, umetoka huko kwa bush, umeshafanywa ukakuwa mwanaume na sasa unataka kuonesha watu that unaweza kula kama king, like king you are, please let them come and document that process for you. Meanwhile, let me get back to my guest. A friend of mine, like I said earlier on, someone I consider, maybe he doesn't know this, but I'll let him know on this show today. Someone I consider, he showed me a different perception as far as Christianity is concerned. I'm talking about none other than Saint P. ama Patrick Mbaru. Saint P.
Yes.
Wewe sasa tutakuita nani? Watu wanakujua huko nje unajulikana kama Saint P.
Saint to
Yeah, Saint, how are you doing?
I'm very okay, Maze, and thank you kwa kunileta, Maze.
Yes, nilisema of all the people I would interview, nilisema sitafika episode 10 kama Saint hajafika kwa show.
Nashukuru sana. It's an honor.
So welcome to the show. The last time I saw you, dread zako zilikuwa zimefika tu hapa. Sasa hizi umezifunga kama
taba ni ya warasi.
Hebu ni show ni aje bro. What's going on there? But it looks good actually. I like
What's
it.
What's going on here, it's because sometimes when you long hair, it's crazy. So unazifunga tu juu zinajipanga na wewe unajipanga na mwili yako. Yeah.
You know, a couple of months ago nilikuwa na nywele refu. Sisi kama uliona
movies sijawahi kuona na nywele. I have never. If there is someone that I've always seen him with his short hair. Clean, it's Paul Mung'ala Movie. Wow.
Nilikuwa na nywele refu, nilikuwa napatia kina madhe kwa mpeko kwa mpaka alikuwa ananiangalia anaambia
interesting kujua hivyo.
And then my dad babangu alikuwa ananiuliza are you okay? Yeah.
I don't know why though, parents sometimes, because I remember the first time when my dad saw my locks, it's like you either choose to be my son or I disown you.
Oh, you had that issue?
Yeah. And I don't know why, because I think vile dready na mabangi na nini, you see? And I remember standing up for myself and asking my family, like, I have brothers who have short hair, but they're the ones in drugs, they're the ones who are thieves. You know them, they have come here with cases. So me, ushawahi nisikia? No.
Oh, now this is
Ushawahi
you.
nisikia?
This is you telling your dad.
My dad, because walijua the first time when walijua niko na dready, because I used to have a Marvin. You know, Marvin's really safe.
Yes.
Unavaa tu Marvin, unaishia. They don't know what's happening in there.
Yeah.
So one time this uncle of mine actually that brought me up, alipass. Na ni Waislamu. You know, ukikufa saa moja by 1 huwa umezikwa. So mimi nilitoka tu na hiyo panic. Nikishuka mtaa, hakuna kilemba kwa kichwa, like there is no covering, and my locks already had sprouted.
Right.
But I decided I kind of like, so you see as artist, you create a persona. So I created a persona which I was so comfortable.
Yeah. This is when you were in Shags, right?
Yeah.
Malindi.
Malindi, yeah. Naambia wasee, mimi mshainiona mimi, nishawailetea kesi? No. Nishawai nini? Now I'm an architect right now.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't think, the only person, and I'm really grateful, that looked at me and went like, but you're not taking care of your hair, is my great-grandma. She was so
your great-grandmother.
Yes, aliona hii nywele akasema, your hair is good, lakini you don't know how to take care of them.
Ngoja kidogo. Yani your great-grandma, you lived, or rather she lived long enough to actually have a conversation with you.
She actually...
Is she still alive?
No, she passed like in 2021 is when she passed. What? She was so amazing. Like, side ya my mom ni 7th days.
Yes.
So in our family we have us from the dad's side.
Yes.
And
us from the mom side.
From the mom side.
Okay.
Sisi wa my dad's side tuliokoka tu juzi. Like, unajua Ocha, witch doctors and witches and all those things. And from mom side, like their 7th days, ile Friday awakulangi.
Lakini Malindi si ati ni mko Ocha sana. Malindi is a tourist town.
Si Ocha sana. But you see Ocha extends. You know, there is Malindi and then there is Singwaya. That's where they come from. You see, so they are staunch 7th days. So on Fridays they never used to cook.
Yes.
But my great-grandmom, time yenye nikimvisit on Friday jioni, yani nilikuwa na meal yenye amenipangia on Friday and Saturday. So najua my great-grandson is coming.
Yes.
So lazima akule, juu sim 7th day. She was so amazing.
Alikuwa anakupikia nini? Sana.
A lot of times she used to cook for me bananas zenye zimewekwa kwa... Kuna type of banana inaitwa mboki or something. So alikuwa anapika na nazi pale, alafu anaingiza sukari kidogo. It was super amazing. Like even in her old age, she used to remember and she never forgot my name.
Yeah.
Which was super amazing.
Until the day she died.
How
old was she? 2021? That is
I think she had I think alikuwa ameingia sona. Because she was so, like the day I knew her, she was already old.
Like alikuanga venye sasa mimi naona shosho yangu sasa hivi.
Yani alikuwa tu mzee. You know? So and my grandmom, my grandmom was born in the 40s.
Okay.
So na yeye tayari alikuwa mzee, yani alikuwa tayari in the 40s, yeye tayari I think my grandmom is like, I think ni watatu or something. So she had really lived her years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So and this is your great grandma from which side?
From my mom's.
From your mom's side.
The good thing about my mom's side, they really they age gracefully.
What?
They age gracefully.
Both your grandmothers are still alive?
Yeah, from my mom's side.
She's alive.
Side ya dad, kuna vienye.
Ama your dad alipata na madhe akiwa advanced in age?
No. Interestingly, I don't have my grandparents from my dad's side. My granddad died in 1959.
19 what?
59.
That is your grandfather?
Yes. Your time.
Okay.
Actually, the day that Queen Elizabeth came, and so many, I've not shared this, but when she came to Mombasa, my granddad was among the people who actually danced for the Queen.
Yes.
When she came to Mombasa. And she was actually gifted a crown by that lady. Yeah.
Your
she was
granddad?
An artist. Yeah, my granddad was an artist.
Was gifted by Queen Elizabeth?
Yes.
Wow.
Time akija Mombasa.
Mko na hiyo relic bana. Unajua ni kitu mnaweza manze.
Hiyo ni kitu nimetafuta.
In another 10 years muiuze pesa nyingine muomoke.
Wacha nikwambie kama kuna kitu nimetafuta ni hiyo story. But also sometimes when you have a when if I don't know,
Yeah.
but no, you've never had that experience because I a little bit know your story.
Yeah.
So I've lived in a very broken family.
Okay.
There were hierarchy of, broken levels. There is the fathers, then there is your fathers and your uncles,
Wait,
and then now.
you've said fathers and then there's your fathers and
So
your...
now grandfathers.
Okay, grandfather, okay.
Grandfathers, and then now lower to now fathers.
Yeah.
Which budangu na either mabrother zake or sisters wake walikuwa hawapatani.
So your father and your uncles.
Yes, and then now you come down to
the children. Now
the
you.
children also us not being
Gelled.
in that place whereby we are like, hey, Maze, you know what? But though we have tried, because for me, I've always told my family, like, there are so many things that our fathers fought a battle that they never won. And the first thing for us, we need to make sure, even if we don't understand each other or we don't like each other, but we at least try to gel these families, because I don't want my kids
to have the same fight
to
again,
have the
surely.
same fight again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of things that my granddad had ni ukweli yenye one son anajua na aliamua kukufa na hiyo ukweli. Naona. Which was, to me, I feel it's stupid.
Yeah.
Si ati ni poa, ni ufala tu. Naona.
Was that because of was that because it's Malindi? Because I'm sure even in other places people experience. I come from Kitui and maybe there's a family in Kitui experiencing the same.
Yeah.
But what would you attribute that particular situation to?
I think ni information. Yeah? Ni kama the way, for example, we are brothers, yeah?
Yeah.
And then atupendani. And I know something. But to make sure that, yani to punish you, I won't disclose something.
You'd rather die with that?
I would rather die with that. Like, it's not, it's just stupidity. And I'm not saying that out of hate or anything. But as children, I've seen the impact lack of communication did to the fathers and trickling down to us.
The children.
Because also the fathers never shared that information to us. And also, I would also attribute it to another concept that God shared with me some time back. Me and my dad, we were never, hatukuwa place moja. Like, I was this kid who was like, you know what, me, I don't care about this dude. And also for him, the same.
By this dude, you mean like you didn't
my
care?
Dad, yeah.
Your dad, okay.
Never, yeah,
okay.
me, I hated my dad.
Really?
Yeah, with passion. Yeah.
He's alive, right?
No, he passed
in
2019. But also, juu nilikuwa kuna hiyo father and children hate, he also didn't disclose so many things
to you,
to me. Now, fast forward now to now, because we don't have that information, sasa tunaanza now kufuatilizia how was it here, which is crazy.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
By the time your dad, because now I didn't know this kabisa.
Yeah.
By the time your dad was passing away in 2019, mimi nilikuwa nakujua saint. Hata sijajua budako alikuwa amepass. Mimi nilikuwa nadhani yako alive. But by the time he was passing on, were you guys still at loggerheads?
No. Yeah, in a way. But later, there's a time, because he was very sick. He had cancer. Na hiyo cancer ilikuwa tu umeamua lazima umse aende. So I went to visit him. It was 26th hapo deck. Yeah, 2019. Okay. So I went to visit him, and then we spoke, and then somehow he really prayed for me and prophesied, and and then sikuiweka kwa akili. So when he passed, in my mind I was like, wow, mzee amedai na kwani tulipatana, you know? And I remember the Spirit sharing with me, no, check, there is a video that he recorded. Yeah. So when I played that video, and then I heard my dad praying for me, and I was like, wow.
Wait, you recorded a video while in hospital when he was praying for you?
When he was praying for you. Yeah. Because I was leaving, I was going to Kakuma, and then I was like, yo, Dad, I have to go because I've been called, it's work, nini, nini. And he's like, Poa, you know, when you go there, may God bless you, nini, nini. I was like, okay. This is, and then he said something like, and I know it won't be long before I go home. Sasa mimi niko zile za yes, by faith.
So when you reviewed the videos when you...
Yes, then I was like, wow, okay, this dude, I think he had a change of heart. But also, I think another lesson I learned is like sometimes as kids, we usually have this thing, disagreements na my parents. And a lot of times, you know, we as kids tunakuwa rebels. Unapata msee anaet budake.
Hivyo tu.
Hivyo tu. Ama maybe there are some which have legit reasons.
Yeah.
But you see, what I learned from God is like this guy fought so many battles.
Yeah.
Yenye hakuwaishinda, you know. Our
It was
family,
battle after
it was
battle,
battle
losing,
after battle.
losing
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
them. Mm.
So you wouldn't be angry at someone who was also trying to find himself.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Because as it is so hard for kids to be, it's also very, very hard for fathers to be. Because sometimes kuna mababa wenye wamelelewa at a certain era where it was quick march, stop, attention, and you have to
Military
hear.
style.
Military style.
Yeah.
And so for us who have desired to be out of that system, unapata sasa tuna clash, you see? So I say as a child, sometimes I go back and go like, I think I was very stupid because I never knew. Like right now, I don't even have any lesson that I would credit like my dad told
Give
me
you.
ABCD because I wasn't close to him.
Yeah.
You know, and there are so many things I would have known.
Was it because of, as teenagers, we have that rebellion stage. We rebel against, sana as men, we
Yeah.
rebel against our fathers a lot because we are also finding our space
Yeah.
as men.
Yeah.
So unapata budako anakuambia kuna shangaa msana anakuambia nini.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that is what happened?
Mi ndo nilikuwa hivyo kabisa. Exactly like that. Even there are so many things that I used to do that my dad even doesn't understand that. Like, but also, as a kid growing up,
Yeah.
I wasn't like, hey, mi sikuwa mtoi mpoa. I wasn't cool kabisa. Like,
There's a time I remember you told me that you, at one point you were a Muslim.
yes.
Was it the entire family that was Muslim, ama it's just you?
So hiyo time yenye nilikuwa sisikiangi. Yeah. But also the challenge was, I think my parents didn't know how to handle saint. Iki kitoi. Because there were things I would do and say
Yeah.
that people would ask, kwani umtoi yuko miaka ngapi? You know, like those super high level intelligent kids, mpaka maparo hawajui ya wafanye nini. So for me, I really wanted, if there's anything I always wanted to be when I was growing up, was to be an adult.
Was to be an adult.
To be an adult. Yani ile day yenye naweza ona dem nimkatie tu hivi yani. I couldn't wait for that.
Na mtu asikuambie kitu.
Asiwahi niambia anything. So at like 8, my mom was like, not even my mom, my family is like, mtoto asikii. So there's my auntie, mwenye sasa my uncle, nikwambia my uncle who brought me up.
Yes.
So my auntie anaitwa Menyoka. She's one of the most feared auntie. There were two.
Yeah.
Now Menyoka was another one. Like when my grandmom was pregnant, people predicted the kid was going to be a boy. And then alizaa mwanamke mwenye ako kama chali. So akanambia mtoto asikii, mleteni kwangu. Yeah. So when I went there, they are Muslims.
Yes.
Sasa time ya Ramadhani, you can't eat with them because haujafunga. You see? So you have to wait. Sometimes food remains, sometimes it doesn't. You sleep. So me ikaanza kuni mess kwa sababu class 2, sometimes you don't eat. If you don't fast, you can't eat with them. Unaitwa kobe nini. So nikaona, okay, so the mode of survival here is to do what?
Become a Muslim.
Is to become a Muslim.
Yeah.
And you eat at the high table.
Yes.
So I converted. I converted that.
So this is, let me get this straight. So you went to live with your uncle.
Yep.
Who is a Muslim.
Yes.
The entire family is Muslim.
Yeah.
And because of the cultural differences, you had to adapt.
I had to adapt so that I survive.
Okay.
Or else ingekuwa hard sana.
All right.
You know, yeah.
So jina ya Kiislamu ulipewa ni gani?
So I had 2 names.
So you were born Patrick Mbaro.
Yes, Patrick Mbaro.
Lakini sasa hapo umebatizwa ukakuwa nani sasa?
Sijui kama nakumbuka dala. Unajua dala ni nini?
Dala
5 shillings that had corners.
Yes, okay.
So
sikuwa najua ni dala but
ilikuwa inaitwa dala. So ingekuwa heads ingekuwa Musa. Ingekuwa tails ingekuwa Muhammad.
Okay.
So ikadunda kwa heads. So my name was Musa.
Wait, how do they decide that? So they
see ile dala you.
No. I'm saying what determines that juu ni Musa chini ni Muhammad?
It's just my uncle just who said
yeye alisema alikuja
ikiwa juu ikiwa juu, and all my cousins were there. Ikiwa juu ni Musa, ikiwa chini Muhammad.
Aya. Was there any consent from your parents?
No.
This was just
because at that time pia it was so weird, because now when I was staying at my auntie's place, also it's kind of like I was also the forgotten, kind of like the forgotten child, whereby now you also have to either work, you get your money so that you go to school.
Yes.
Yani nika nilisahaulika. And then also when I became a Muslim,
yes,
at hiyo home kwetu sasa ni wale staunch Christians. Like I've shared that, like ni watu wenye, if you say bwana asifiwe, my grandmom is like, hata mimi niko na bwana mgani? You have to say Bwana Yesu asifiwe.
So your grandmother was Muslim as well?
No, Christians. Like side ya kwenye home sasa kwenye nilitoka. So where my dad built,
yes,
it was also a family, but they are staunch, like staunch Christians.
SDA you said.
So hiyo ni side ya mom.
Okay.
So where dad built, alibuilt pia kwenye kuna an extended family side ya dad.
Okay.
Hao ni wale wa Kristo, yani noma. Yani ile, even how you speak, the music you listen to, how you dress.
Yes.
Man, I really nilikuwa na hate your life. Because imagine nende huku kwa kuvaa makanzu. It was so interesting actually.
So when you converted, you became Musa?
Yes, I became Musa.
So ulikuwa Musa Mbaru?
Sasa the thing is now, in school I changed. Now I started doing IRE. Yeah, and I was actually the top in that class for years.
Wow.
Actually. Yeah.
Nice.
Because I'm also very passionate about history and you know, CRE and IRE, it's all based on history. What did Muhammad do?
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And I was really passionate about you know, that experience. Yeah, and then now ikafika point mazee mandugu zangu akinunuliwa nguo za Christmas wewe hauna. You know, and then also it started becoming an issue kwa sababu like after 4 years, I started having this dream where like 3 old men used to come and beat me up.
Okay.
Every single time.
How often would this dream recur?
As often as I could tell.
Like in a week, how many times would you dream the same dream?
Like yani hiyo time nili approach kama hata for so many months. You see?
Every night often, the same dream.
But every week I will dream that nachapwa na wazee watatu.
Wazee unawajua?
And they never explained. I just know they were all in white and had white beards and stuff. And also during that time also it was a time where I used to dream crazy dreams. Like I used to dream things when I would share with people, they're like, yo man, like you can't see those things. Like I used to see things. See, so those when I realized, so in third time I remember.
Yeah.
So revelation ni kama ikatoka ya kwamba I was going in a direction where God didn't want me to go, because one, I was already cut off from my family.
Yes.
You see, and there were privileges where, as a child, sikuwa nazipata. You see, I started buying clothes when I was, mimi nilikuwa naanza kujitegemea nikiwa mtoto sana. Na hiyo life ilikuwa kwa ilikuwa inanisumbua as a child. So what I decided to do, nikaambia Mungu, okay, so I'm going to do two exams. The one that I will pass is the one that I will. So if I pass IRE, now
that's the direction I'll take.
That's the direction I'll take. And if I pass CRE, and I had not done CRE for like 5 years. Yeah. So haiko. You see? So luckily I passed CRE.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
How old were you then?
I was 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you again now transitioned back from Islam to Christianity.
I went home.
So ulimaliza mtihani hivi wa CRE ukapass?
Nilipass tu CRE.
And from that day you became a Christian.
I'll always be a Christian. And even after that now, I started getting so many, too much information concerning the spiritual. I would see things, I would talk to things.
I want us to rewind back to the dreams. You've said that kuna wakati ulikuwa unapata ndoto, very strange, let me call them strange dreams.
Yeah.
Because me I usually have normal dreams. I think they are normal. I hope they are normal. What kind of dreams are you having?
So I'll give you this, and usually this dream, it's kind of like my affirmation to life. So when I was 14 years old, so remember now I'm back home, and there's this, my dad's cousin, no, nephew actually, who also was passionate about things of God.
Yeah.
And I used to ask him at 13 years old, hey, by the way, nimeona hii. What is it? And then he would always tell me, when you're reading the Bible as a child,
yes,
you need to read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, wachana na John. But hizo,
why?
Just read things. Because for me, I wasn't passionate about those ones. Me, I was passionate about Ezekiel. I was passionate about Revelation. I was passionate about Daniel. Like zilikuwa zinani fascinate when I read Revelation, and then I see how the world is going to come up and turn up and stuff.
End of days.
Man, nilikuwa na feel passionate about them yani. And so, this particular time, I remember, this week, on Tuesday, I had a dream, nimeumwa na nyoka on this finger. That's Tuesday.
On your pinky?
Yes, hapa. The next day, it was this finger.
On your ring finger?
Yes. The third day, it was on this finger.
The middle finger?
Actually, ilianza Monday. So so for the 4 days, na nikiamka niko na marks. Niko na marks, yani naona marks kabisa. It's like, have you ever had like kitu kama 2 dots of blood clots?
Yes.
Hapo kwa hizo vitu.
Yeah, when I go for blood tests.
Yeah. So niko zile za hii nini. So I had not shared it with someone.
So wait, so day 1 ukiumwa hapa unaamka unapata vidonda hapa.
Yes.
Day 2 unapata vidonda hapa.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes. So on Friday, now I had another dream. But on that particular dream, and remember, it's a continuation of, it's very hard for people to loop, like you loop into the dream you had as a continuation.
Exactly.
Like it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
So for me, where I finished that day, hiyo dream ikaendelea. Because for me, in that dream, nilisikia Jesus amekam. You see? And so, remember, I'm reading Revelation, and then I know Christ is coming back at 14 years old. And then it was me and a cousin of mine called Justin.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling Justin, me, lazima nione Jesus leo, because lazima nimweleze shida yangu. So tukafika place, there was a huge gathering of this guy who had white hair, very clean. Unajua mapasi wenye wanavanga white peke yake. Alikuwa kaa hivyo. Kibenihin kiasi. I'm not saying that, but that's how alikuwa design. White nini. And then there were so many people. But as I was listening to him, I was like, no, this contradicts the message that Christ shared. Mimi nikatoka hapo. So nilienda na my cousin, niliacha kuzoa hapo. Mimi nikasema lazima nitafute Jesus kwenye yuko, but huyu si yeye. Unaona? So mimi nikajipata nakimbia. All of a sudden I saw myself in school, in primary school.
Right.
So kwa field. So nilivofika kwa field, they were like hiyo ni ndoto. So there is this field like millions of people, and there is huge security. They're like, Jesus ashaombea kila mtu, and people are crying, Jesus. Mimi sijamuona maze. And then I'm seeing him with someone akienda.
In the distance.
Kwa distance. So and then mimi venye ni kadogo, maze ninaambia huyo bouncer, maze kuna kitu lazima niambie Jesus maze. Anaambia Jesus sahi ashaona kila kitu, hawezi kufanya anything anymore. Mimi nikapitia chini ya miguu, nikakimbia. So I ran so fast, they couldn't keep up with me as a young kid. It's kind of like I was flying or something.
Right.
So when I got to him, so kwa hiyo shule, kulikuwa kuna field ya football and then ya volleyball. So it was a huge field where everyone was, and then there's like a path, and then you go to the volleyball field. And then I met him there, nikakimbia, nikamwambia, Jesus. And then he turns, it was him and Peter. And then he's like,
Peter the Apostle now.
Peter the Apostle.
Right.
Hey, I'm like, what? Akanambia, you are too late.
This is now Peter telling you.
No, Jesus now is telling me, you are too late. Ulikuwa wapi? Nikamwambia mimi hata sijali, but mimi nimekuwa nikiumwa na manyoka sana. Snakes have been biting me and I want those snakes to stop. Akaniangalia. And then he's like, right now, okay, let me pray for you.
Yeah.
So he lays hands on me and I don't know what he said. And then akasema sawa. Alafu akasema, I'm not saying snakes won't bite you.
Yeah.
But they will not harm you when they do. And then I saw him ascend. And nilirudi na kiburi. Unajua, a lot of times that's where the dream ends.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's where the dream ends.
Yeah.
Because there's no dream that concludes. Hakuna ndoto yenye zinaishanga tu abrupt. So venye nilimuona, like I came back now to people telling them, I saw Jesus. You know, at 14 years old and I'm crying. And then all of a sudden, now these snakes, you remember there was one finger remaining.
Right.
Now bites me on this finger. I'm like, what are you? Nikaingoa. And then I wake up that time. So, nikamfuata my cousin, so huyo nephew wa my dad, who was a pastor. Nikamwambia, by the way, I've been able to dream about A, B, C, D, F, G. Akanambia, hizo tu ni ndoto. Unajua ukiwatch horror, when you watch horror,
yeah,
a lot of horrors,
they just manifest as dreams.
Yeah. But that dream, and not just that, like I've had dreams of even my death, my burial, but I'm grateful because even up to this time, my friends know I don't dream. But if I do, it's concerning something.
You don't dream?
Up until today.
You don't dream?
I sleep soundly. If I have a dream, it's because of something.
You know me, do you know how often I dream? Every single night.
I don't. Ulalanga by the I just sleep. If I have a dream, if I have a dream about you,
yeah.
Sometimes, how many times have I called you?
Many times.
Yeah. It's because I've seen you.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you've noted, like even my friends can attest. Me, I call them haphazardly. I can even call you at 11. In the night. Just because maybe I have seen something or I've been reminded, niaje ebu call so and so. Yeah.
Let's talk about your salvation. At what point did you meet when did you get saved?
So
was it after the theory exam?
Not there, but a year later. I was still like 14 during that time too. But at that particular time, what happened? Kuna hate flani yenye. So I used to go to this. I used to listen to rap music, and I started going to church with my cousins, my aunties, even the whole family actually. We used to go to the same church. But there's a time, and I really hated church from that particular time because, I think I was in Form 2 is when now I got baptized. And then, for me I've been listening to hip hop, Nini, the way I was dressing, nilikuwa navaa ma jeans. And I remember this.
And same you're a rapper as well. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Then sasa niko hapo, nikasema Bwana asifiwe nini. And then this pasi anasema, kuna watu wengine wanaokuja hapa wakiongea na lugha ambazo si za kiungu, wamevaa manguo. Man, I was like, kama hiyo Kristo ni hivi mimi sitaki. Fala gani? So I was so angry because I was put on blast at that time.
That time you still had your dreads?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Not yet. I was just a thin, brown skin kid hapo. Kwanza nilikuwa na jihate. And then una blastiwa hivyo nikaambia, Mungu wewe ishia na hiyo Kristo yako.
Ulichukia kwa nini?
Like life yangu imekuwa like all of my life I've been this person that I was used to rejection a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, like I never expected anything. I never used to expect anyone to either like me. I was the smallest in my family, you see. So kama umegrow up ukiambiwa na your cousins, chest yako iko flat paka ndege inaweza landa hapo. So I used to hate my skin.
Yeah.
Like my jina yenye nilikuwa nimepatiwa nilikuwa naitwa Kazungu Do. Like mimi kwanza ni mdogo.
Yeah.
My last name is Kazungu. Sasa nilikuwa nakaa white. I hated my skin. Nilikuwa naomba nikuwe dark. You see?
Yeah.
So I've always...
You're the first person I've heard who says
I hated my skin. I prefer. When I started now working, na una work kwa jua, then your skin starts
Ukaanza
changing.
kuturn.
Yeah, unaturn.
Ukaanza kuona, okay, at least now I look African.
Yeah, but it was so crazy. Like I hated it.
So salvation came that time. You went to church. You found this person saying, "Mnava vibaya mnaongea."
In fact, at that time, you see, Saint didn't come at I called myself in a way, but I was already experiencing things in spirit. You see, I will see people and know everything about them. My friend wakipata mademo walikuwa anaweza nifuata niambie ni aje nimemeet demo hebu kama muone. If I see that girl, I would have every information about them.
Yeah.
You see, and naambia huyu demo yuko hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi ni last born. So wase walikuwa wanashanga huyu msee
ni nini?
Huyu msee ni nini? If I write things they happen.
Yeah.
You know, like if I write about a girl that I want,
yes,
it will go according to how I wrote it. Like it was so weird.
Like it was like a decree kind of.
Yeah, it was so, and I'm actually sharing it first time here. Like I used to be very dangerous. Very dangerous.
You know, when we started this interview, there's something you mentioned about, back in the day, ushago, kulikuwanga na a lot of uchawi, urogi, nini.
Yeah.
Is it something that you've experienced personally? Have you seen it? Like,
I have.
Yeah.
I've told you I've seen demons, bro. I've seen things in my life. I've seen and I've heard. You see? Min shaipelekwa pia time flani. I remember there's this one experience where so I'll share two.
Yeah.
So there's this time I was sleeping and then I woke up in the middle of the night. At that time, hiyo hao yenye tulikuwa tunajenga ilikuwa side moja ni kama paa ilikuwa haijamalizwa. And so the moon would actually shine through, unaona kabisa as clear as day.
Yeah.
And this particular time when I woke up, I started hearing someone walk in the house.
Okay.
Sawa. So natembea 1, 2.
Manini nimeanza kupata goosebumps.
4. Alafu anaturn.
Yes.
And then anakam mpaka kwa room, unaona curtain inafunguka kabisa. The curtain opens like this. There's no one though.
Yeah.
And then there's still no one, but the guy the footsteps and to your bed, and then anafanya hivi. Sasa hiyo nilikuwa nimejificha unajua kwa kitanda na hiyo space nilijiingisha hapo. Anakaa mpaka hapo. Alafu anashtuka, then anaturn. Then you see the curtain. That time I woke up so early, but I couldn't go to the sitting room.
Yeah.
Because that guy, so tulikuwa tuna paa moja ndio ilikuwa bado. So my dad had bought these makutis, zilikuwa ziko kwa room fulani hapo.
Yeah.
Nikasikia huyo msee ameenda amejiwekelea hapo kwa makuti. Hiyo room iko karibu na sitting room. Nikasema, mimi siwezi enda. I can't go.
Was that a dream?
No, it wasn't. That was.
Did you guys have pets? Like, was that a cat, a dog?
No. I know it was someone because.
Was it a goat?
Shoes. Shoes. You hear footsteps.
Oh, you can tell.
You can hear. Yeah. And so my mom comes to my room akanambia at like 7 hapo. Akanambia amka cause utachelewa. Nikamwambia mimi siwezi enda. Hebu try kwenda sito. Akaenda sitting room. Nikamwambia hebu enda uangalie kama kuna mtu hivi. Akaenda kaangalia hakuna mtu. So I left my room, went to that room where I had hakuna anyone. And I never shared it with anyone.
Was it maybe like mfanyikazi alikuwa anakuja kuangalia kama uko fiti?
Mombasa mfanyikazi?
I don't know, mimi sijaishi coast.
Mfanyikazi? No. Hiyo kitu by the way, it's so foreign.
How old were you?
At that time I think I was 12. It was during that time nakwambia time yenye sasa nimerudi home at 12. So hiyo ilikuwa kama nilikuwa class hiyo 6 to hiyo time yenye have hizo dreams.
So it wasn't like your mom coming just to check on you?
No.
Fiti.
In fact hata kuna time hiyo, the second thing I'll share, there's a time when my mom used to have like akilala anapata msee anakuwa choked kabisa, anakuwa choked kabisa. And so this particular day my bro alikuwa mdogo, so alikuwa analala na mother. So my small bro sasa.
Okay.
So this particular day my bro alichukuliwa akafungwa. Unajua juu nakumbuka nili associate na ile film ya Yesu venye Yesu alifungwa. So my bro was taken and he was tied like that.
Okay.
From head to...
This is now a dream you are having?
No. That's
this is real life.
Something that happened.
Okay. Amechukuliwa na nani, amefungwa na nani?
Miss atujui.
Okay.
So mom wakes up, anapata bro ayuko. So anasha ile taya kikoroboi. Akiangalia hivi anaona mtoi wake amelazwa kwa mlango kama like the foot of the door.
Yeah.
Amelazwa hapo. He is not breathing. So he calls me. It's like, why your brother is dead? Nikikuja hivi naona kimse kimefungwa ka movie ya Yesu.
Yeah.
So we open the I opened the
whatever you had.
Yeah, the cover.
Kitamba.
Bed sheet actually. Bed sheet. Ndo nikaangalia hivi, but I was young mazee, niko zile sasa hizi ni gani? So akilia hapo, then my brother sneezes and then he's like, "Mom, mbona unalia?" I'm like, wacha buda sasa ambiwe what has happened. All of us we were taken to this mganga. So tukafika kwa mganga, mitu niko hapo tu. Remember, I'm also experiencing my own things that I don't share.
Dreams,
and my bro, my mom, and my elder bro was taken to that guy. No, we were both taken.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I was taken out of the room. And I stayed there. Wase wakatengezwa huko. And then we went home.
Did you get into the room?
No. I went in and I was told to wait out. I don't know why. Which was so interesting because I was like, what? Ama umse ameona nini? Because see, another thing that, and I think that's a mistake that a lot of Christians think, they always look at wagangas as inferior people. Like they don't see the spiritual medium.
Yeah.
But these people actually see. They can actually look at your life and access things that you are the only person that knows.
Let's take a short break. Hey, we're taking a short break. We'll be right back.
Hey there, amazing friend. Are we connected on social media yet? If not, let's make it happen right now. I'd love to stay in touch with you. You can find me as Mung'ala Movie on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Loving this video? I sure hope so. If you are, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It truly helps me and the team keep creating awesome content for you. Your support means the world to us. Thanks a million for being here. You are the best.
Welcome back. Tuko pale MGM Silver Springs, that is Muthu Hotels. Like I said, they have this amazing facility and I'm urging you, please come and visit. But right now, I'm with a guest of mine who says apparently aliona amekuwa kidil na mambo spiritually. And every time I hear these stories, they honestly scare me to a point whereby I might need to pray 10 times tonight before I sleep. Saint P.
Yes.
When you were 12 years old and you had these experiences, meeting these demons like you're explaining and seeing these things, and at any one point were you scared? I know you say that kuna time ulijificha ukaingia chini ya kitanda, lakini like what happens the next night and every night after that? Do those things haunt you today?
No, they don't. Surprisingly, when I was young, yes, because they were not familiar to me. Like the experience that I had wasn't something that I had accepted it as part of my life. But as I grew up, I kind of like accepted it. Remember, me after kuachana na church, mi nikaanza kuata siku believe ka kuna God. Mpaka I remember there is a time I told God, like, you know, if the devil comes first, I'll go to him. Because I was already experiencing, like, when I got saved, I didn't get saved because a lot of people get saved because they are depressed. Sawa, they are going through something. I wanted to see God because of the things I was experiencing. You can't tell me I can speak about something and then it happens, and then be normal. Because I had already, also the devil was so amazing because he had already figured out that I was passionate about spiritual things.
Yeah.
So he even allowed me to see those things. And a lot of titles I remember when I was...
Wait, you said the devil was amazing. He allowed you to see this thing.
No, it was amazing that
okay.
sometimes, you see, like for example, if I'm your boss and I know Paul wants, yani anapenda tu kucruise.
Vitu tamu tamu.
Unasikia tu poa. Unakwambia, hey Paul, see, take this car home. Unafeel anakupenda. So for me, what he knew is like, this guy, he's passionate about the spiritual a lot, that he would even show me things and go like, you are not a normal human being.
So this is the devil showing you these things?
Yeah, the person who was could talk to me.
Okay.
And the voice that I could
Ulikuwa
hear.
unajua ni shetani?
Because now when I met God...
Oh, so you saw there was a difference?
There was a huge difference. There was a huge difference. Like north, south.
Night and day.
Night and day. Because mimi nilikuwa naambia God, if I can control things, if Paul naweza kwambia vitu na zi happen, if I can tell you something that you're the only person that knows, then it means I'm not normal. It means then I'm more spiritual than normal. And so the dark side started cultivating that. Even now, I even started now researching on that life. See, because I was passionate about the spirit, so vitabu za Freemasonry, I had already started reading about them, you know, the occult system, how does that world work, mind control, how is it working? You see, is it possible that I convince you to pick this bottle now we tupe? Can I do that? See, like, Paul nilikuwa nimefika like kidogo tu hivi.
Ungekuwa mganga, mchawi.
Mimi hata si mchawi, but ningekuwa mse mwenye yani ninge display to people what the spiritual is. See? But then now you get to a point whereby God is like, because I always say, as venye tu tunasema God has a purpose for you, even the devil has a purpose for you. They both have agendas concerning your life.
Yeah.
It's only that you need to choose which side you need to now align yourself to, which agenda.
Yeah.
You see? And so for me, I was passionate about now who is the ultimate power. You see, and it is God. Basi God atokee hapa. Kwani ni nini? Shida yake ni nini kwani? Si akuje.
Alikam?
He came. It's so interesting that mimi nilikuwa nimefika point yenye tu yani ni kifo tu yani Mungu angeniua because I was so blasphemous.
Yeah.
Even in my music, I will say things. I used to call myself Pastor Lai, Wapili. But Lai ya L-I-E.
Yeah, Pastor, any liar.
Liar, yeah. Because Ukristo ni ufala. What the heck is this? At Jesus for who? In fact, there's a line I remember. There's a song I did called Sexy Lady. Because before I got saved, I used to do secular.
Yeah.
And I was like, madem na wapata ngoja, yeah, me ni player for life, sacrifice kwa madem kama blood ya Christ.
So you used to call yourself a sacrifice?
Yani I was like and it's so yani every single line I would write, I will just blasphemous to God and stuff. Yeah. Naambia wasea maybe shetani ameni.
Mimi kuna matime ukasirikia God for sure.
Yeah.
Like when my brother passed away.
Yeah.
Actually, two of my bros passed away. There's one who passed away in 2000.
Yeah.
Then the other one passed away last year, 2024.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that I experienced was anger towards God, because I was like, surely.
Why?
Sasa nimebaki peke yangu home. Akina madhe wananitegemea, wananiangalia sana. There's so much expectation from me, and I might not be able to achieve all that.
Yeah.
And I was like, at least ungeacha tu bro anisaidie in one aspect, you know.
Yeah.
But I never got to a point whereby I would be blasphemous. I think I'm afraid. I fear God a lot.
The fear of God, the Bible says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. But you see, there are people who don't fear.
Yeah.
Like I've seen my friends who had wametukana Mungu yani. Because I remember there's one friend of mine who said if Jesus is your God, basi anikas. He's learning a hard way right now. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Anger towards God, sometimes I will say it's good. Because when you have anger, it means you have questions. And the only, sasa ukasirike, nani kasi? Si Mungu ndo alikuumba. And he can actually tell you. For me, what has given me peace, even with the losses that I've had in my life, is that we all have, I'm writing a book of quotes.
Yeah.
So there's a quote which I say, leo kuna vitu tatu zimefanyika. There's a birth, there's a death, and there is something, like the third thing nini. And there's an in and an out.
Yeah.
Sawa. Binadamu akona ameingia kwa dunia na lazima atoke. Whether you like it or not.
You have to exit.
You have to exit. It's only that sometimes we are too selfish to the things that matter to us. That's why it's so painful. You see? So for me, I always live my life allowing myself to experience you for now.
Yeah.
You see? Even for me, 2021, I almost died actually. There's a friend of mine, I called her, anaitwa Charlene. She's called Mama Bima online. I was, like nilianza kwenda home. Simekwambia home venye kulikuwa nilianza kwenda home. And then these fools mazee wakanifanyia ile kitu. Yeah, so my heart will beat so fast and then it stops. It stops. And ushaikuwa na simu yenye imezima ikawaka.
Ile kilikuwa nasema
unaitumia alafu inazima. Alafu inajiwasha. That's how my system was. And I remember calling my friend nikamwambia, "Hey mazee, Charlene, I need a medical cover because the sickness that I had, si sickness ya kutaka 10K." You see? Nikamwambia Charlene mazee, I'm very very sick. Nitafutie insurance medical cover sasa nichukue. Akanambia, "Hey Saint sawa." Akanitumia 3. Nikamwambia mimi nataka hii cause 2021 unajua industry ilikuwa bado haijaamka poa.
Yes.
So nikamwambia hii at least naweza fanya hivi. And then I remember akanambia sasa Saint challenge hizi lazima zimachue after 1 month.
Yes.
I told her, Charlene,
I don't have a month.
Sina a month. I think I'm gonna die anytime. But your day, God akanambia at kitu kama 10, I think it was like 9:30 hivi, akanambia, you know what? No, hiyo usiku ya hiyo day, niliamshwa like kitu ka 3. So the spirit is like, you have to pray now or you are going to die in 3 hours.
Mpaka ukahesabu literally masaa.
Yeah, it was at 3.
Now this is what? The Spirit of God?
Yeah. Yeah. Me, I believe I communicate to him.
Yeah.
And there's a dimension whereby when you accept it, it reciprocates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, my prayer when I got saved was like, God, may I not fail to hear you. And when I hear you, just like Abraham, I want to know it is you that is speaking.
Okay.
That's why it's easy for me to tell God, mimi nataka na najua wewe unataka. It's easy for me to know this is God's and this is Saint talking or wanting or ni influence. You know, there's an orchestration that is happening. It's very easy for me to know because I have followed a voice and it failed, and I have followed a voice and it succeeded. And so I started learning, is it possible that when God speaks, I'm able to hear?
Okay.
Because there's another pastor who said this. Actually, it was T.D. Jakes.
Yes.
He said, a lot of Isaacs are being killed at the altar every single day. Because sometimes when we go through pain as Christians, because of the false teaching and everything, we always believe it's the devil. You see, when you get into an accident right now,
Ni
shetani. Because that's what we've been trained to do. Good is God.
Bad is shetani.
And I used to tell my saved friends sometimes, and they were saying, you are blaspheming. I'm like, I don't know, but I know sometimes devil anaendanga na petition zake kwa God, anaambia, look at these fools. Sasa mimi nilikuwa wapi hapo?
Mimi nimetajwa na Saint na siku hapo.
Niko wapi? Si ni ufala yake, you see? And so I prayed. I remember praying, and that evening, I went to the ocean huko because nilikuwa Malindi your time. Nikaenda kama 9 hivi. I think I walked, I don't know how many times I walked a stretch of 1 kilometer from this end to this end at night. Paka kituka 10, 11 and I'm just crying my heart out. I'm like, you know what? I can't die. Whoever mwenye ametuma hiyo kitu yenye amenitumia lazima akufe. Of course they buried people there. And them unapigiwa tu simu, baadaye kulikuwa na mazishi nyumbani. I'm like, okay.
We? Ulikuwa umetumua vitu. Ukambali tunasemanga umetumua vitu.
Yeah, huwa ni the same thing. And usually ni mtego wenye umetegewa. So when you, let's say for example umetegewa hiyo part.
Yeah.
But if you are alert, God anaweza kuambia usipitie hiyo, pitia
hii ingine.
Yeah. Like for example, last year actually they had sent something to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Problem hawakuni get. So it got my cousin and it got my uncle sasa mwenye amebakia.
Okay.
So my uncle, this time he's walking, was bitten by a snake. Yeah? But it was so funny. And I'm not saying I'm a sadist, but it was so funny because meno za huyo msee zilikuwa, mimi sijui nyoka mwenye ako na meno kaa hizi. Maybe wasewa niambie. Meno, like you see the fangs, they were big like this. Like I was like,
we Andre, kwenye nyoka hizi ziko na meno kubwa hivi?
Yani hiyo fangs ilikuwa so weird. So by the time nimepigiwa nimeambiwa by the mzee ameumwa na nyoka. So before I panicked, nikamwambia no. So God anambia no, just pray about it. It's a spiritual thing, just pray about it. So I prayed. And then so my uncle akaenda kwa wale traditional nini akatolewa. Huwa nasikia kuna meno, mimi sijui. Unawekewa meno, it sucks out that poison and everything. And then in the next day he survived and he went to the doctor.
And he was okay.
And there was no antivenom,
nothing. Ilikuwa tu kienyeji.
Yeah, ilikuwa tu kienyeji. Yeah. But I was like, okay. So consciously I'm like, okay, yeah, I still know I'm a wanted person. You know, I'm still a wanted person.
Tuko na dakika zingine kangapi hivi?
Hata tujaongea vitu mingi.
Do you know that, like literally this interview was going to be about your music. This interview was going to be about your art, your projects.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a part 2 if you don't mind.
Me, I don't. You're my brother. Anytime ukinihitaji. And it's so interesting that there are so many things I've shared.
Yeah.
Which I know they are so scary. But it's the first time that I share. Because a lot of times, I usually don't like, there are some things, people might choose to look at you differently. Yeah. You see? Yeah. But, I speak of these things so that
people can know.
People
and people
also
should
may know. Yeah. They know also we are not special. Like, tunapitianga pia sometimes. We go through things sometimes and
I was going to talk about your salvation. I was going to talk about, your...
Yeah, you have 2 minutes.
No, what we shall do... No, watch out to dilute this conversation that we just had. And I feel like it was a very powerful conversation in regards to the gravity of what you've just said.
Yeah.
Hata nimeona tukianza kuongea muziki sasa tutakuwa tumedilute story yote. I don't want to make this video 2 hours for nothing. Yeah, so we can actually have this conversation a part 2 ndakutafuta hata kama ni next week.
Mimi ukiniambia kama nimetoka Malindi.
Umetoka Malindi. Yeah, but the funny thing, I called this guy in the morning, last night and you told me you're in Malindi and you'll come and I was like, are you kidding me? Mimi nikiwa hata Kitui. Utangoja mpaka ile siku narudi Nairobi bana.
No, because I always no.
Yeah.
There are 2 things.
Yes.
There are people who, when they call, I have to die.
To die for them.
To die for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's whatever.
Yeah.
But you have to die for them because of what they mean to you and what they meant to you.
Right.
So this is that relationship we have built over the years from 2008 up until now. Yeah. And it's the same thing same reciprocation that I can get also from you.
Thank you so much for coming.
And it's an honor, Mazee.
I really appreciate. And because I know you're a prayerful man, nataka utuombe na uombe hii channel.
What do you want?
Nataka hii channel ipate, nataka kukuwa monetize like yesterday. Anyway, I want this channel to speak to people. And I want this channel to be a change I want it to be a change for good. Okay. Yeah. People to because even the guests that I'm planning to bring, I'm planning to bring people who can actually affect people in a positive way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Okay, so in my spirit, what I feel,
Yeah.
it's that prayer has already ilishafika.
I hope Mungu amenisikia.
Si hata yani ilifika kitambo sana.
Yeah.
That's why you started this, and God gave you a team that is willing to be part of that vision. And so a lot of times we just live as if that is happening. That's what I feel in my spirit. Of course I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
But nafiliani God amekuweka hii place juu ya hiyo tu. Sijui kama una understand.
Nakuelewa.
Yeah, because other places ungekuwa na maswali ushaandika hapo.
Nikishika hivi nikikwambia question number 2.
Question number 1, you see?
Yeah,
But you've allowed yourself to experience whatever kwenye tu unapeleka unaenda.
Yeah.
And that's what is going to make this show totally different.
Right.
I think more or less is now you get favor so that people may hear these stories because they are different.
Yep.
Yeah, you see. And a lot of times, you know, people say you capitalize on sadness. Yeah, unaanza kukuambia mimi nilipata shida. I slept outside for people to actually pay attention. But I pray that you may impact people with so much energy and hope for life that through you they may not stay like, oh, huyu asha go through, ashawe kuwa homeless, so mimi niko homeless, najua nitamake jua alikuwa homeless. May this show not be that show.
Yeah.
You can understand. Because a lot of shows, that's how they are.
I know.
Unaongelea shida. Mimi nilipofuka, alafu nikaamka.
Yeah.
You see?
No.
And I pray that you may have strategic guests that when they speak life to people so that it doesn't become their story. That your show may be a mirror of people's lives.
Yeah.
Hata your satire pia. I love the satire show.
Yes.
That one was so funny.
Yeah.
But when they see it, they're like, wow, this is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my prayer for you.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Round 2. Part 2, I think talk after next week. For sure.
Bro, mi ukinihitaji anytime,
Sawa.
I will always make my way here.
All right.
Nakushukuru sana, bro.
Yeah, thank you for coming all the way from Malindi.
Thank you too, Maze.
We have come to the end of the show, and it's been an amazing conversation, and I hope wherever you are, imekushika, imekutouch pia. And as we come to a close, I hope as well you have subscribed. Tafadhali, kama huja click your subscribe button, Maze, please take 2 seconds, just click on it. Like it as well, and make sure you share. Patia shosho yako, patia mama yako, patia baba yako, patia hata watoi wako, waenda wakaisambaze kwa shule. Sawa sawa. Until next time, it's been real. Kwaheri.
Thank you.